From Philadelphia's Shibe Park, this is Kurt Berglund with Pine Tar Baseball. Today, Game 4 of my Great Teams Tournament World Series between the 1980 Kansas City Royals visiting the 1964 Philadelphia Phillies in Game 4. The Phillies, somewhat surprisingly, lead the series 2-1 as we head into Game 4. The opposing starters today, Dennis Bennett for the homestanding Philadelphia Phillies. He is a soft-tossing lefty and a G-rated pitcher at home. He was tough on the road in 64, as you can see. But we're in Philadelphia, and one of the great things about Pine Tar Baseball is that it adjusts not only for lefty-righty splits, but for home-road splits for the pitchers. Bennett will have his hands full with the Kansas City lineup today with a G rating. He will be opposed by soft-tossing lefty Paul Splittorff for the Kansas City Royals. On the road, a G pitcher. Third time through the order, he does improve to an E, which is a little like throwing a deck chair off the Queen Mary. Splittorff, also not a strong pitcher on the road, or not a strong pitcher in this game if you go by the ratings. We got a couple of soft-tossing lefties for Game 4. Both managers have adjusted their lineups accordingly. Let's look at the lineups. Of course, in Philadelphia, no DH. For the visiting Kansas City Royals, leading off in left field, Willie Wilson. Batting second and doing the catching today, for the first time in the series, John Wathan. Batting third at third base, George Brett. Batting fourth in center field, Amos Otis. Batting fifth at first base, Willie Aikens. Batting sixth in right field, Jose Cardinal. Batting seventh at second base, Frank White. Batting eighth at shortstop, UL Washington. And batting ninth will be Paul Splittorff. No sign of Hal McRae in the field as yet to start this game. For the homestanding 1964 Phillies, leading off at second base, it's Tony Taylor. Batting second in right field, it's Johnny Callison. Batting third at third base, it's Richie Allen. Batting fourth, cleanup, and playing left field against the left-hander Splittorff, it's Alex Johnson. Batting fifth, and playing first base, fighting through his leather allergy, Frank Thomas. Not that Frank Thomas. Batting sixth, playing center field today in place of Tony Gonzalez, is right-handed hitting Cookie Rojas. Batting seventh, the catcher, Gus Triandos. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Bobby Wine. And batting ninth, and pitching, left-hander, Dennis Bennett. The third starter for the Philadelphia Phillies in 1964, and as you can see, 32 starts on the season, but injured late in the year and unable to help down the stretch. Willie Wilson steps into the batter's box, the MVP for the Kansas City Royals so far. He hit .326 in 1980, and here we go. This one is hit in the air to center, and Cookie Rojas is going to take this one for out number one. And now we have catcher John Wathan. Darryl Porter, the normal starter, but Wathan's in there. The right-hander gives up something on defense, but an offensive machine in 1980. And both Jim Fry and Gene Mauch taking steps to try and score as many runs as possible. We could have a slugfest today. This one's hitting the air to left. Alex Johnson is under it. And that's 2 down. And George Brett stands in. .390 in 1980. Pitch to George. Hit on the ground to Frank Thomas, who gloves it and takes it himself to the bag, and that retires the Royals 1-2-3, of course, in the top of the first. Of course, because I talked about a slugfest. Long way to go in this one, though. Splittorf coming to the mound, taking his warm-up tosses. And the Phillies, right-handed heavy lineup, getting ready to come to the plate. The only lefty in the lineup, right fielder Johnny Callison for the Phillies today. Tony Taylor leads off at 251 on the 1964 season. This one is hit hard to center. Way back. It's got a chance to get out of here. Otis to the wall, and we got a leadoff homer for Tony Taylor. It's 1-0 Phillies. And just like that, wow, Splittorf in trouble. Johnny Callison comes to the plate. Pitch to him. Hit in the air to center, high toward left center. Amos Otis moving back, but he will have room and will make the play. That's one gone in the first. Richie Allen, 318, and the Rookie of the Year, 1964. This one is hit high and deep to left field, way back. It's Wilson to the wall this time, but there's no chance. Allen crushes it. It's 2-0 Phillies on a pair of bombs in the first inning. Dennis Bennett breathing a little bit easier in the Phillies Phillies dugout. Alex Johnson, 303 in 1964, the late season right half of the left field platoon. This one is a line drive, base hit, center field. Johnson takes him up the middle. 3 of the first 4 men with hits against Splittorf. Jim Fry does not want to go to his bullpen, but he also doesn't want to lose this game, so it's going to be a tough call on how to manage things here. Boy, oh boy. No action yet, but Fry is on the top step of the dugout. Splittorf needs to get it under control. Frank Thomas is a double play target, and there is a man on first base with 1 out. It's Alex Johnson. Thomas has power, of course. 271 in 1964. The pitch to him. We have a range check. Get to the kitchen. It's a range check. This one chopped in front of the plate. John Wathan off with his mask, grabs it, and fumbles it, and then kicks it, and then it rolls away, and Thomas is going to be safe at first. Johnson will be safe at second. The Phillies have 2 on, and unbelievably, the Phillies official scorer is going to give Thomas a hit on the play. Splittorf in trouble. That's it for Fry. He's going to the bullpen and getting somebody loose. Although, boy, oh boy. He's on the phone asking if anyone can very, very quickly call Brett Saberhagen and find out what he's doing. Cookie Rojas at the plate, Johnson at second, Thomas at first. There is 1 man out, and the Phillies lead 2-0 in the bottom of the first. The pitch to Rojas is drilled to center. It's going to split Wilson and Otis. It's going to bounce off the wall in left center on a hop. Johnson will score from second base. Thomas will streak, if that's the term I'm looking for, to third base, and it's second and third for the Phillies in the first inning with 1 out. Gary Christensen is warming, a left-hander, in the Phillies bullpen, or in the Royals bullpen. Gus Triandos, the Royals infield, is playing in. Gus Triandos at the plate. Pitch home to Gus. Is a ground ball to first. It's a ground ball to first. It's gloved by Akins. The infield was in. Thomas holds at third base because Akins was staring right at him as he gloved the ball. Akins steps on first and retires Triandos. There's 2 gone in the first, but still 2 runners in scoring position. And now Splittorff faces Bobby Wine. 212 in 1964. A hit here does a lot of damage to the Royals' hopes. The pitch. Hit in the air to left. Willie Wilson coming on, and he will make the play. And Splittorff gets out of the first like a punch-drunk fighter who's been knocked down a couple times in the first round. We have, after 1 inning, the score, 64 Phillies 3, 80 Royals nothing, but the 64 Phillies pitcher is just as bad. Actually, he's worse than Splittorff at home. Otis, Akins, and Cardinal in the Royals second. We could have a slugfest here today. Otis, the pitch to him is hit high and deep to left. This one's way back. Johnson to the wall. Amos Otis has left the building. So has Elvis. It's 3-1 Royals. 3-1 Phillies. And just like that, the Royals are on the board. A little bit of batting practice going on here right now. We're having a home run derby. Willie Akins at the plate. Line shot at a diving Frank Thomas, who makes the play, and there's 1 down in the second. But these balls are getting hit hard off these soft-tossing lefties. Jose Cardinal, 263 in 1980. Range check. Get to the kitchen. Cardinal hits it hard. It's to center field. It's to Rojas. He will not get there. It falls in front of him. Tony Gonzalez might have gotten there. It's a base hit for Cardinal. And with 1 out, well, there's 1 on for Frank White. Fry's feeling a little better. It's Gene Mauch's turn to grab the Maylocks. Frank White with 1 out and Cardinal on first. The pitch. This one hit in the air to right field. Johnny Callison is going to be over a few steps and make the catch. And with 2 outs and Cardinal returning to first, it's UL Washington against Dennis Bennett. Paul Splittorff on deck. Interesting decision for Fry. Coming up early in this one, if Washington should reach. This one hit on the ground too short. Bobby Wine will flip to Tony Taylor for the force out, and that retires the Royals in the second. However, they get on the board with an Amos Otis home run. And after 1 1/2 innings in this one, it's the Phillies 3, the Royals 1. If the Royals win, the series is knotted at 2 games apiece. And just as importantly, if the Royals win, they win back the home field advantage in the series. If the Phillies win, they go ahead 3-1 and make it real tough on the boys from Kansas City. Dennis Bennett will lead off the second inning for the Phillies. This one hit in the air to right. Not a big deal for Cardinal, and he will make the play. For out number 1, we go back to the top of the order now with Tony Taylor. Hit a solo dong in the first to get the Phillies off to a good start. And Tony lifts this one to left. It's deep, but Willie Wilson's got room. He was going for it, but he didn't quite get it. 2 gone in the first, and now Johnny Callison against Splittorff. Callison hits it to right, and it's high, but it's not deep. This one will be taken by Cardinal, and 3 fly balls, impressive fly balls, but fly balls nonetheless, retire the Phillies in the second. We go to the third. It's Philadelphia 3, Kansas City 1 in Game 4. Bennett back on the mound. Mock looking for his vaping materials in the dugout. He usually keeps them right under his seat. Splittorff leads off in the third. Pitch to Paul is grounded to first and gloved by Thomas. He will take it himself, and that's one gone for the Royals. Every out Bennett gets is a bonus for Mock at this point. Why? Because it saves his bullpen, number one, and number two, it costs him less in vaping materials. Wilson 0 for 1 on the day. The key to the Royals offense just launched one. This one's going to be trouble to center, and it's over the head of Cookie Rojas. Look at Wilson fly. He's going to get to third on a triple with 1 out in the third. John Wathan. Gene Mock looking for his lighter in the dugout. John Wathan 0 for 1 on the day. Wilson on third base. 1 out. Bennett to the belt. He checks Wilson. Look at the lead Wilson's got at third base. The pitch home to Wathan. Hit in the air to right field. Callison has a good arm. Wilson is tagging. He does not respect the arm. 65 or less, he's in there, and Willie Wilson scores on a sacrifice fly to right by John Wathan, and it's 3-2 Phillies. In the top of the third, there's 2 outs for George Brett. Royals have climbed back into this one. 0 for 1 for Brett on the day. And he draws a walk from Bennett. That puts a man on for the man who hit a dong last inning. It's Amos Otis. 1 man on. It's Brett at first. 2 outs. 1 in already for Kansas City. The pitch. Is launched to left. This one's going to get over Alex Johnson's head. Otis suddenly on fire. It's off the wall. Johnson takes it on a hop. Brett to third base. And will hold there as Johnson gets the ball back to Bobby Wine. So with 2 outs and Akins on third at bat, there's 2 men in scoring position for against Dennis Bennett. Willie Akins going against the platoon advantage today. 0 for 1 in the game. 278 and a big part of the Kansas City offense in 1980, but not a frequent contributor against left-handed pitchers. Let's see what he does against Bennett. Brett takes his lead off third. Otis takes his lead off second. The pitch home is a line drive base hit right field. It drops in front of Callison. Brett was off at the crack of the bat. Otis had a huge lead. He's heading home. Here comes the throw from Callison. Callison with an excellent arm. The throw home is not in time. Akins drives home 2. The Royals lead 4-3 in the top of the third, and Willie is standing on first base clapping his hands for himself. Nice going, Willie. Always good to clap for yourself. 1 for 2 with a pair of ribbies on Willie's day, and he's put the Royals in front. They've climbed all the way back from a 3-0 deficit. Jose Cardinal is up. Bennett on the mound. Gene Mock flicking the Zippo lighter in the dugout. The pitch to Bennett, or from Bennett to Cardinal. Hit on the ground to short. Bobby Wine will go to Taylor the short way for the force, and that gets the Phillies out of this debacle. But the Royals score 3 on 3 hits. They leave 1. And they have taken a 4-3 lead as we go to the bottom of the third. In this one, we promised you runs, and we're delivering 7 runs in 2.5 innings so far. Richie Allen, Alex Johnson, Frank Thomas coming to the plate for the Phillies in the third. Can they respond? The pitch from Splittorf. He walks Richie Allen. Not a good start to the inning. And Richie strolls down to first base. Alex Johnson, who's got hits aplenty in that bat. 303 on the 64 season. He's 1 for 1 today with a run scored. Pitch to Alex. Is hit on the ground to second. You don't want to hit it there. Frank White to UL Washington for 1. Washington to Akins for 2. And that is a much-needed Paul Splittorf twin killing to bring 2 outs to the festivities in the bottom of the third. And now Frank Thomas, who has been hot and was given a gift single in the first inning. The pitch. And Thomas lines it to right. He goes the other way. And this one's a legit single in front of Cardinal. He is aboard with 2 outs in the third. Cookie Rojas, who doubled and drove in a run in the first. Today's center fielder for the Phillies. Pitch to Cookie. Is a line drive, base hit, center field. It's to Otis on a hop. Thomas is not fast. He will stop at second. And there's runners at first and second for Gus Triandos, who's got a little pop in that bat against lefties and is 0 for 1 today. 250 on the season for Gus. They need a hit to tie the game. The pitch to him. Hit on the ground to short. UL Washington will flip to Frank White, and that will retire the Phillies in the third. We go to the fourth. Kansas City 4, Philadelphia 3 in Game 4 of the World Series. Dennis Bennett coming back to the mound. He will get the bottom third of the Royals' order in the top of the fourth inning. Excuse me. Looks like I've done a little too much vaping. I'm just kidding. I don't vape. Frank White, 0 for 1. This one hit in the air to left. Plenty of room for Alex Johnson. And he'll make the catch for out number 1. UL Washington, 0 for 1 on the day. 273 in 1980. UL slaps it to center. It's coming down fast. Rojas on the run. And he will get there for the second out of the inning. And now we've got Paul Splittorf up for his second at bat. The pitch to Paul. He strikes him out on some Dennis Bennett gas, if that's the word I'm looking for when I speak of Dennis Bennett's fastball. All right, we are going to the bottom of the fourth, and Splittorf clinging to a 4-3 lead for the Royals. Coming up for the Phillies, Bobby Wine, Dennis Bennett, and Tony Taylor. As maybe these pitchers are riding the ship. Maybe. Bobby Wine will lead off. He's the Phillies shortstop. 212 on the season. Pitch to him is a broken bat. He sawed him off, but it's going to get over Frank White's head and bounce into shallow right field for a single for Bobby Wine. And that's going to bring up Dennis Bennett with a chance to bunt. It's also after Dennis Bennett is up, because his Splittorf's rating shifts, it goes up to an E because it'll be the third time through the order. So this is his last batter as a G pitcher. Splittorf improved as the game went on the road in 1980. Dennis Bennett at the plate. He's a left-handed batter. Will Gene Mauch ask him to bunt? He's a 54% chance to get it down. He squares. and it's disaster. He pops it to Splittorf. Splittorf catches it on the fly, and Wine is too far off the base. So a pop-out to Splittorf that goes from Splittorf to White for the double play. Dennis Bennett bunts into a double play, and that kills the Royals base runner in the fourth with 2 outs and now nobody on. It's Tony Taylor who hit a dong in the first, 1 for 2 on the day. Wow, that's a big blow to the Phillies offense. They had a golden opportunity. Taylor up there, and Tony strikes out on a Splittorf bender. That retires the Phillies in the fourth. They go from a leadoff runner on to nothing. And Splittorf feeling better about life as he walks back to the Kansas City dugout. We go to the fifth. Dennis Bennett, Willie Wilson, top of the Kansas City order, and the Royals are looking for more in the top of the fifth. Bennett, the wind, the pitch home to Wilson. This one hit on the ground to third and gloved by Richie Allen. He will throw to Frank Thomas for the out. 1 gone in the fifth. John Wathan is 0 for 1 with a ribby. A sac fly back in the third. Pitch to John. He hits it hard to left center. This one's going to get over Cookie Rojas's head. And John Wathan makes his manager's decision to play him pay off by hitting a leadoff double in the top of the fifth. Or I'm sorry, a double with 1 out in the fifth. And that brings up George Brett. Now we've got an interesting choice here. Excuse me. Brett is 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored on the day, but the most dangerous hitter in the game today, Amos Otis, is on deck, who is 2 for 2 with a ribby. Bennett is a lefty, so they're going to try their luck with Brett, even though first base is open. Bennett to the... Oh, man. Yeah, it's... Mock is going to get the bullpen going. It's Culp and Shantz. Ray Culp, a right-hander. Bobby Shantz, a lefty. Getting ready in the 5th inning. Mock wants this game. Brett at the plate. 0 for 1, a walk, a run scored. Wathan takes his lead off second. There's 1 man out. The pitch to George. Is hit high and deep to right field. It's going to get off the right center field wall. Cookie Rojas will run it down. John Wathan will score from second base. George Brett is going to get all the way to third base on the second triple of the game for the Royals, and it's 5-3 Kansas City in the top of the fifth. Amos Otis coming to the plate. What do they want to do here? Otis, 2 for 2, a double, a solo dong, and a ribby. Here comes Gene Mock. He's coming out to talk to Bennett, and he's walking extremely slowly. And that is going to do it. No, it's not going to do it. He's going to leave Bennett in there. He's giving him some instructions, and he's heading back to the dugout. Amos Otis, Gus Triandos comes back to home plate and holds out his hand. Amos Otis is going to be intentionally walked by Dennis Bennett here in the fifth. That'll put him on first base. Brett is still on third. There's 1 man out. Willie Aikens is due to come up, the lefty, and here comes Mock again now that Bennett has done that. Dennis Bennett's day is done. Mock's second trip to the mound in this inning. Sandwiched in between an intentional walk to Amos Otis, which bought Bobby Shantz a few more warm-up throws. Shantz is a little lefty who was tough as nails for the Yankees. And I believe later the Pirates, I want to say. And he is in the game now to face Willie Aikens. Give you the line on Bennett as Shantz takes his warm-up tosses. Dennis Bennett went 4 1/3 shaky innings. He allowed 7 hits. He walked 1 man unintentionally and 1 man intentionally. He struck out 1, and he allowed, to this point, 5 runs and 1 home run to Amos Otis. He is responsible for both George Brett on third base and Amos Otis on first base, but Shantz's job is to try and throw a double play ball to Willie Aikens. The Phillies defense is at double play depth. There's 1 man out. Aikens has trouble against lefties, but he's in there, and he hit a 2-run single in the third off of lefty Dennis Bennett. Shantz to the belt. The pitch home to Aikens is hit in the air to left. Alex Johnson is drifting toward the line. George Brett is tagging, and Johnson will make the catch. Here comes Johnson's throw, but it will not be in time. Brett will score from third. Sacrifice fly for Willie Aikens, and it's 6-3 Kansas City in Game 4 of the World Series. Amos Otis returns to first base. Jose Cardinal steps in against Shantz. 1 for 2 for Jose on the day. The pitch to him is lifted to left, and this will be routine. Alex Johnson is in his tracks and makes the catch. So Shantz does get them out of the inning, but not before allowing Bennett's 6th run to score. We go to the bottom of the 5th. We're halfway through this one in Game 4 of the World Series, with the 1980 Kansas City Royals leading the 1964 Philadelphia Phillies by a score of 6-3. A word from our sponsor, Lakeside Beef. Not just Lakeside Beef, friends. Lakeside Beef with juices. 24 ounces of artery-clogging goodness. Their slogan, eat this and you'll be eat this and you'll be dead before your head hits the table. That's right. 1/4 cup of this stuff, whatever it is that's in here, 1/4 cup gives you 20% of your saturated fats for the day. 20% of your saturated fats in 1/4 cup. That's artery clogging goodness from our friends at Lakeside Beef with Juices. Pick it up on your way out of the ballpark at Shibe Park today. And say hello to a brand new gastrointestinal system tomorrow. All right. Bottom of the 5th. Splittorf's back on the mound. He is now an E pitcher. Johnny Callison stepping in. Richie Allen on deck. Alex Johnson will bat third in this inning for the Phillies. Every out Splittorf gets makes Jim Fry vape just a little bit less. Callison, 0 for 2. That's a wild one all the way to the screen. Splittorf bounced it, and Wathan couldn't handle it, but no trouble because nobody's on. The pitch to Callison. Ground ball second, taken by Frank White off of the natural turf. He throws to Aikens, and that's 1 gone. Richie Allen 1 for 1 with a dong in the first, a walk in the third. They keep asking Richie to come up big, and he keeps doing it, but Splittorf strikes him out this time on a sinker, and I use that word in quotes. Alex Johnson with 2 outs and nobody on. He hit into a killer of a double play in the third, but he singled and scored in the first. The pitch to Alex is hit in the air to center. This one's going to get over Otis's head. Alex Johnson corked it. It's over Otis's head, and by the time he runs it down, Alex Johnson is to second base. So the Phillies have a man in scoring position with 2 outs and Frank Thomas up. Frank is 2 for 2 on the day. Gene Mauch would love him to drive in a run. And he just did. Maybe. Line drive, base hit, center field. Bounces in front of Otis. Johnson around third. Look at Otis's throw home. And that, excuse me, the vaping at Shibe Park is getting to my lungs. Johnson holds at third. Thomas around first. So now the Phillies have men at the corners for Rojas. Rojas is the tying run in this game. Splittorf wants to be eligible for the win. Fry still on the top step of the dugout, breathing heavily. The fumes from Mauch's vaping getting to him. He's coughing. He's looking for fresh air. Cookie Rojas is 2 for 2 on the day with a double and a ribby. Can he drive in Johnson from third? This one hit in the air to center. Otis in a few steps. He's going to make the play, and that will retire the Phillies in the 5th. They come close, but don't get it. And we're going to, after 5 complete, we're going to say the score is the Royals 6, the Phillies 3. And Bobby Shantz coming back out to face Frank White with Ray Culp still throwing in the bullpen. Mauch and Fry made 8 pitching changes in Game 3. They're way behind that pace today, but Shantz is still in there to face White. White 0 for 2 today, 264 on the season. The pitch is lifted to left. Alex Johnson is back a few steps, but he shouldn't have trouble. And that will retire White in the 6th. And here comes Mauch. He wants Culp. Well, that might be a little strong, but he's going to Ray Culp now. And Culp, as you can see, is an E pitcher at home. He has control trouble. Walks on 55 to 60 and 77, but he can give you a couple innings if you need him. So Shantz pitches 1 inning, no hits, no runs, no whiffs, no home runs. And so that'll do it for him. Culp is on, and he will bat 6th. Cookie Rojas is going to come out of the game now. And the new center fielder will be Tony Gonzalez. He got a few innings off. And Gonzalez will bat in the 9th spot in the order. And save Gene Mauch, a pinch hitter, in the bottom of this inning. Excuse me. All right. So, with 1 man out, it's UL Washington against Ray Culp in the top of the 6th for Kansas City. Hey, strikes him out on some Culp gas, which is not something that you really want to talk about after you talk about lakeside beef. Paul Splittorf coming to bat. That means he'll be coming back out for the bottom of the 6th. He can go 7. Splittorf 4 for 2 today with a strikeout. The pitch to Paul is a strikeout on more Culp gas. After 5.5, the Royals lead this one 6-3 with Splittorf coming back out, and Jim Fry very pleased with his effort, because if you had told Fry before the game that Splittorf would give him 5 innings and 3 runs, and anything beyond that is a bonus, he would have taken the score. As we go to the bottom of the 6th, is 6-3 Kansas City. We're in Game 4 of the World Series. The Royals win this game. We're tied at 2 games apiece. Splittorf is back on the mound. He will face, in the bottom of the 6th, the bottom third of the Philadelphia batting order: Gus Triandos, Bobby Wine, and new center fielder Tony Gonzalez, who entered the game on a double switch in the top of the inning. Triandos 0 for 2 on the day. This one's hit on the ground to UL Washington, who will glove it and throw to first for 1 gone. Bobby Wine 1 for 2 on his day. 1 for 2 for Bobby. 212 in 1964. Wine can't check his swing. It's a strikeout on a Splittorf hook. And there's 2 down, and Tony Gonzalez up, who is normally the starting center fielder, did not get the nod in today's game, but is back in the game now. The pitch from Splittorf to Gonzalez is a jam job broken bat over UL Washington's head for a base hit, a single for Gonzalez, and he's aboard with 2 outs. And Tony Taylor coming to the plate, who hit a dong in the first. He's 1 for 3 with a strikeout. And Gonzalez, with good speed, can certainly score from first on a double. Splittorf to the belt, the pitch home. Hit in the air to right. That's going to be Cardinal. He will have room and get there, and that will retire the Phillies in the 6th. We go to the 7th. Kansas City 6, Philadelphia 3, and Ray Culp coming back out to the mound to face the top of the Kansas City order. It's Willie Wilson, John Wathan, the catcher, and George Brett, the third baseman. But will they leave Wathan in there? Porter is stronger defensively, better arm. Culp, a right-hander. Wilson's 1 for 3 with a triple and a run scored in the 3rd. Pitch to Willie. Line drive, smash off Culp. It rolls toward Richie Allen, who barehands it and throws to Thomas, but no chance to get the speedy Willie Wilson. It's a base hit for Willie. He's 2 for 4 and on first base with nobody out. Gus Triandos with a -5 throwing arm knocks Wilson's chances of a stolen base down to an 82. Wathan is a good bunter. He is coming to the plate. No sign of Gerald Porter yet. Culp. Oh, boy. Mock on the phone to the bullpen. Ed Roebuck is going to start throwing. Wathan in there. Wilson working on his lead. Culp to the belt. The pitch to Wathan. He takes. There goes Wilson, and it's a stolen base. The throw down to Wine was late, and Wilson steals second. Wathan 1 for 2 on the day with a sacrifice fly, a double, and a run scored. Culp. The Phillies are out of lefties in the bullpen. Culp at the belt. The pitch to Watt, the 1-0 pitch to Wathan. He bunts. It's a bunt. He gets it down. Gloved by Richie Allen. The throw to Frank Thomas retires Wathan, but the sacrifice gets Wilson to third with 1 out and George Brett coming to the plate. Now they've got another choice to make. Amos Otis is still 2 for 2 and is in the on-deck circle. Wow. Well, they got to hold him here, I guess. So that's going to be it for Culp. Culp will intentionally walk Brett. Mock is holding up 4 fingers, but he's already out of the dugout. Brett will be walked. That'll put runners at the corners for Otis. And here comes Mock to get him. Ed Roebuck, not sure if he's quite ready yet, but he's coming on to replace Culp and give you Culp's numbers. Gonna make a double switch. Roebuck will bat 8th. Bobby Wine is coming out of the game. Ruben Amaro will be the new shortstop and will bat 6th in Culp's spot in the order. So Wine is gone. Culp is gone. Amaro is in and Roebuck is in. And Roebuck is on to try and throw some gas to Amos Otis. They're trying to keep the score at a 3-run deficit. So Roebuck is in to face Otis. The infield will play in to try and cut off the run at the plate. Willie Wilson, very, very fast, as you know. So Wilson at third, Brett at first. There's 1 man out. The pitch to Amos from Roebuck. It's ball 2. Ball 2. Otis is ahead in the count. 2 balls, no strikes. Amos, 2 for 2 today. 2 runs scored. A ribby, a dong, and a double, and an intentional walk. Infield still in. The pitch from Roebuck. Hit in the air to center. Tony Gonzalez lining it up. Willie Wilson is tagging. And he will score on the sacrifice fly by Amos Otis. That makes the score Kansas City 7, Philadelphia 3, with Willie Aikens coming to the plate. Roebuck to face Aikens now. Willie 1 for 2, but 3 RBIs on the day. Brett still at first base. The pitch. Crushed to left. Alex Johnson misjudged it. It's going to get over his head. Lands on the warning track. Brett around third, but it's to left field. He will be held as Johnson gets the throw to Amaro, who fires to Triandos. So a misplay by Alex Johnson, giving Willie Aikens a double in to left field, puts Aikens on second. Brett on third. They got a chance to rip this game wide open, and Cardinal at the plate, who is a better defensive right fielder than Hurdle, but Jim Fry is not going to let him bat. Jim Fry has revoked Clint Hurdle's buffet dining privileges for the day and asked him to pinch hit for Jose Cardinal. There are no lefties left in the Philadelphia bullpen. He burned Shantz in the 5th inning to try and quell that rally. But the Royals are on fire with the bats, and if Hurdle comes through here, it might be an insurmountable lead for Kansas City. Go over the situation for you. There's 2 men outs. Wilson has already scored. The score is 7-3, Kansas City. George Brett is at third. Willie Aikens is on second base. We're in the top of the 7th, and Clint Hurdle is pinch hitting for Jose Cardinal against right-hander Ed Roebuck. Clint Hurdle hit .294 in 1980. The pitch to Clint. They struck him out on some Ed Roebuck gas. Wow, the Phillies needed it, and they got it, and that will retire the side. Time to stretch him out in Philadelphia. And the Royals are feeling a lot better about life right now. With the score, Kansas City 7, Philadelphia 3. And Paul Splittorff coming back out again for another inning. For the bottom of the 7th, it's Callison, Richie Allen, Alex Johnson in the 7th for Philadelphia. Now Jim Fry is literally dancing in the dugout. He is doing a jig, if you can call it that, because Splittorff's going back out for the 7th. Callison, 0 for 3 on the day. Hurdle is the new right fielder. He is in the field. He is the new right fielder for Kansas City. No other changes to the Royals lineup. Pitch to Johnny. And Callison swings and pulls a line drive base hit to right field in front of Hurdle. He is aboard with nobody out and Richie Allen coming to the plate. That's going to get activity going in the Royals bullpen, or in the Royals bullpen. Marty Patton and Gary Christensen throwing. And you can bet Dan Quisenberry is not too far from doing so himself. Richie Allen's 1 for 2 on the day with a walk, a whiff, and a solo dong in the first. The pitch. Hit high and deep. This one's to left. Gonna get over Wilson's head and split Wilson and Otis. It's in the gap. Callison is around third. Are they going to wave him? They are. Here comes Callison heading to the plate. The throw is not in time. Callison scores on the Richie Allen double. It's 7-4. And the Phillies have the 5th run, their 5th run, in scoring position with nobody out. Alex Johnson coming to the plate. Johnson 2 for 3. Christensen and Patton must not be ready. Johnson 2 for 3 on the day with a run scored and a double. Fly ball to right. This is going to be caught by Hurdle, but Allen is tagging. Richie tags the throw to third. He bluffs a move, and he returns to second base. So, with 1 out, Allen is still at second base, and Frank Thomas comes up. Frank Thomas is 3 for 3. He's been on fire in the last 2 series. Splittorff. How do they want to do this? Ruben Amaro is on deck. Patton and Christensen are throwing in the bullpen. They're going to let Splittorff face Thomas. Allen works on his lead. The pitch home. Hit in the air to left. This one's deep. Willie Wilson is back, but he will catch it on the track for the 2nd out of the inning. And that's 2 gone. Richie Allen returns to second base. Ruben Amaro, the shortstop, is on to face Splittorff. First at bat of the game, he came on in a double switch in the top of the inning. They'd love to get Allen home. The pitch to Amaro. It's a looper. This one's going to get into center field and drop. Base hit. Allen will be held at third. They don't think they can challenge Otis's arm as the throw comes in, and it's a good one. Phillies now with men at first and third for Gus Triandos. And that's it for Fry, for Splittorf. Here comes Jim Fry, already clapping his hands in support of Splittorf, who pitched a lot better and a lot more than anybody would have thought coming into this one. So, let's give you Splittorf's numbers. 6 2/3 innings. 13 hits allowed. 1 walk. He struck out 3 men. He allowed 4 runs to this point, but 2 more are his responsibility. He's set up for the win, and he allowed 2 home runs. So Splittorf is gone. Here comes Marty Patton to face Gus Triandos. It's going to be a double switch. Marty Patton will bat 5th as Fry is showing Ronnie Millsap's lineup card in Braille format. So Patton is on in the bottom of the 7th. He'll bat 5th. And the new first baseman will be Pete Lecoq, and he will bat 9th and be a considerable defensive upgrade over Willie Aikens. So they save themselves a pinch hitter and get Aikens out of the lineup in a 2-for-1 swap right there. All right, so set the scene for you. It's the bottom of the 7th. Marty Patton is the new pitcher. Marty Patton, as you can see, is an A-plus pitcher on the road. He has no strikeout or walk modifiers, and he can give you 2 innings if you need him. Gus Triandos coming to the plate. He is the tying run at the plate, and so he will be lifted for a pinch hitter. They're calling him back. Gene Mock wants a long one. And to get it, he's going to go with Clay Dalrymple. Yeah, they're going to go with Clay Dalrymple. They might get burned by this because they're going to the left-handed pinch hitter in the 7th, which is usually earlier than I like to do it, but they need runs. And Dalrymple has the ability to put a charge into one against a righty. Marty Patton to the belt. Well, let's set the stage here before we do that. There's 1 run in. It's 7-4 Kansas City. Richie Allen is at third base. There's 2 men out. And Ruben Amaro is at first base, so there's 2 men on. Clay Dalrymple hit .238 in 1964, but he can hurt you. He can hurt you. The pitch home. Hit in the air to center. This one's going to be taken by Amos, and that will retire the Phillies in the 7th. Marty Patton gets the Royals out of the mess. We go to the 8th. It's Kansas City 7, Philadelphia 4. We've got some defensive changes to make. We've got action in the bullpen and all sorts of stuff going on. So let's go through that with you. Dalrymple will stay on and be the new catcher for Philadelphia. They have no other catchers left on their roster. The new pitcher, Ed Roebuck is still on. However, Rick Wise is throwing in the Philadelphia bullpen, and Roebuck is good for one more out. So White 0 for 3 will face Roebuck. Pitch home to Frank. Hey, strikes him out on some Ed Roebuck gas. That will do it for Roebuck as Muck is out of the dugout. And he's calling for the youngster, Rick Wise, right now to face UL Washington. Now, this is going to get us another double switch. But how are they going to do this one? No, it's not going to get us a double switch. They're going to have Wise bat 8th. He is due to lead off the 8th, but you know that's not going to happen. So Wise is on to replace Roebuck and face UL. The pitch to UL Washington. Hit in the air to right. Here comes Callison. Before it hits the ground, Johnny grabs it, and that's 2 down for Pete Lecoq. Came on in a double switch last inning. The 9th place hitting first baseman right now for the Royals. 2 outs, nobody on. 205 for Lecoq in 1980. Ground ball second base, Tony Taylor will throw to Frank Thomas, and that will retire the Royals in the 8th. So the combination of Roebuck and Wise get the Royals through the 8th. And we'll see what Philadelphia chooses to do in the 9th. No defensive changes are forthcoming for Kansas City in the bottom of the 8th. Marty Patton back out. It's going to be Wise and then Gonzalez and then Tony Taylor. But here comes a pinch hitter for Wise, and it's going to be Johnny Briggs. Briggs is a youngster in 1964, spent most of the season on the bench except for pinch hitting duties. He played some in the outfield, he played some at first base. So we quite remarkably find ourselves in the bottom of the 8th with the 1980 Royals leading the 1964 Phillies 7-4. It's the bottom of the 8th. Marty Patton is in. He pitched 1/3 of an inning in the bottom of the 7th. He is going to face pinch hitter John Briggs and then scheduled hitters Tony Gonzalez and Tony Taylor in the bottom of the 8th. Dan Quisenberry is warming up in the Royals bullpen. He is accompanied by left-hander Gary Christensen. And Jim Fry is hoping for the closeout to a Game 4 victory, which would knot the World Series at 2 games apiece and return home field advantage to the Kansas City Royals for the last 3 games. But let's see if they can hold the lead. They've got a 3-run cushion to play with. Briggs is up. He's a left-handed pinch hitter facing Marty Patton. This one is hit in the air to center field, and Amos Otis is going to get there without any trouble. And that is 1 gone in the bottom of the 8th. Tony Gonzalez, nobody out. 1 out, nobody on in the 8th. This one, all the way to the screen. A Patton breaking pitch gets past John Wathan, but no damage because nobody's aboard. It's ball 1 and no strikes. And we have a rare play. We have a rare play. And this one is popped up. Pete Lecoq over toward the first base stands, and a fan interferes with him in his ability to make the catch. He is ruled out at first base by first base umpire Ronnie Millsap, and that is going to be ruled fan interference. So Gonzalez is out. That's the second out of the 8th inning. And now Tony Taylor, 1 for 4 in the day with a dong in the first. Pitch to Tony is ball 4. He's aboard. And that's going to bring up Johnny Callison, 1 for 4 today, and a run scored. And capable of putting a charge into one if Patton gets careless. That's going to do it. That's going to do it. That's all Jim Fry needs to see. Patton is going to be lifted now for Quisenberry. Are they going to do a double switch? No, they're not. Yes, they are. No, they're not. They're going to leave everything as it is, but they're going to have Quisenberry into pitch in the bottom of the 8th. There are 2 men out. That makes Quisenberry up 5th in the Royals' 9th inning, should it get to that point. But Quisenberry is on now to try and close it with a 4-out save. Quisenberry, as you can see, is an A-plus pitcher on the road. He has 2 innings pitched as his max, and he has no strikeout or walk modifiers. He has been a stud, and in this tournament, he has saved 5 ball games. All right, so 1 man out, Quisenberry in, Patton is gone. Patton went 1 inning, walked 1, no hits, no runs yet, no home runs, no strikeouts. The pitch from Quiz to Callison is a ground ball second base taken by Frank White. He's going to flip to Washington to go the short way for the out, and that will retire the Phillies in the 8th. We're going to have a new Phillies pitcher for the 9th, he will get in an inning of work. It's going to be their closer, Jack Baldwin. Be careful how you say that. Yeah, he's on. He is batting 8th in the lineup. And he will face the top of the Royals order, starting with Willie Wilson, then John Wathan, and then George Brett. Baldwin is the closer for this team. As you can see, 71 games in 1964 for Baldwin. He's a B pitcher at home. He's got strikeout modifiers on 55 and 77, and should it come to that, he can give you 2 innings of work. But he is on here in the 9th. He did not pitch in yesterday's game. His job is to hold the fort so the Phillies can try and score 3 and tie this thing, or 4 and walk it off in the bottom of the 9th against Quisenberry. Willie Wilson is a 2 for 4 hitter today with 2 runs scored, a stolen base, a single, and a triple on his ledger, and he has been a force in this whole tournament. The pitch to him. And, of course, as soon as I say that, he hits a ground ball to shortstop that Ruben Amaro will take and throw to Frank Thomas for the out. 1 gone in the 9th. John Wathan, 1 for 2, an RBI, a double, a run scored, a sacrifice fly, and a sacrifice bunt. He's had a busy day. The pitch to Wathan is a ground ball to short, taken by Amaro. He throws to Thomas, and that's 2 down. And now George Brett, who always seems to come up just when the Phillies don't want him to. 1 for 2 for Brett. 1 intentional walk, 1 walk the traditional way, 2 runs scored, a triple, an RBI. He's been busy also. Pitch to George. Hit in the air to center. Tony Gonzalez has room and will take it. Baldwin does his job. He pitches a 1-2-3 9th inning. We go to the bottom of the 9th. It's Kansas City 7, Philadelphia 4, And if the Phillies can't rally, we're going to have a tied-up World Series here in Game 4. All right, so let's see what we got here. Any defensive changes for the Royals? They will not make any defensive changes. All right, so Quisenberry's on the mound. It's the heart of the Phillies order. It'll be Richie Allen, Alex Johnson, and Frank Thomas scheduled. Allen, 2 for 3 today, a double, a dong, 2 runs, 2 RBIs, 1 run scored, a walk, and a whiff. It's been quite a game for these folks. Quisenberry, the pitch to Allen. And Richie strikes out looking on a Quisenberry sinker for out number 1. Wow. That's a huge out. Alex Johnson in the on-deck circle. Oh, boy. Yeah, they're going to try and get something going here. Wes Covington is going to bat for Johnson. They need base runners, and Covington will pinch hit for Johnson here in the 9th. Covington, the left-handed hitting part of the platoon in left field for the 64 Phillies, and a huge part of their success in this tournament, including a very memorable pinch hit home run against the 79 Expos. Covington, 280 in 1960. The pitch home, 64. You might know him from the Milwaukee Braves. The pitch home from Quisenberry to Covington. Wes hits a grounder to second. That's going to be taken by White on a hop, and that is 2 down. And now Frank Thomas. 2 outs and nobody on in the Phillies' 9th. 3 for 4 for Frank today. He has been on fire. This one hit in the air to right field. It's going to drive Hurdle to the track, but no further. And that will retire the side and win the game for the Kansas City Royals. Let's give you the line scores. For the victorious 1980 Kansas City Royals, 7 runs on 8 hits. That's all they had. And they committed no errors. For the vanquished 1964 Phillies, 4 runs on 14 hits. I think they had some runners left on base. And for errors, they had none. The winning pitcher of this ball game is Paul Splittorff. The losing pitcher of this ball game is Dennis Bennett. And the save, his 6th of the tournament, is Quisenberry's. All right. We are tied at 2 games apiece in this series. We are in Philadelphia tomorrow for the last game of the series. It will feature Jim Bunning for the Phillies against Dennis Leonard for the Kansas City Royals. Bunning at home in 1964, an A pitcher the first 2 times through the order, and an A+ after that. He got better as the game went on. Dennis Leonard starts out at a C on the road and improves to a B. You would think it would be advantage Phillies in Game 5, but we've thought stranger things before, and sometimes they come to pass, and sometimes not. We have a couple of bullpens that have been used heavily in the last few games, so we'll see how that shakes out as well. Trying to think, I guess that's everything. So the Phillies take the first 2 games in Kansas City. The Royals take the next 2 games in Philadelphia, and we'll see if the Phillies can win a home game tomorrow, as it's Bunning against Leonard. Thank you so much for joining me. Check out Pine Tar Baseball at ttlbaseballgame.com. ttlbaseballgame.com. Please comment, click like, and subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you as a subscriber. Game 5 coming up tomorrow between these same two teams on this very same field. And then it's back to Kansas City for Game 6, and if necessary, Game 7. It's been a heck of a ride so far. We're 2-2 after 4 games. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day. So long, everybody.